Find John.
Okay, cool. We are live. This is the 2015 November 23rd R&D Hangout-On-Air for the e-NABLE group. Welcome aboard. I posted a link to the Hangout that should allow you to join into the post on the e-NABLE community. So if you are watching and you want to join, go ahead and click that link in my comment.
He'll be here in a little bit.
Okay. It's, I guess, an hour earlier for everyone. I guess the last one was too.
That's because of daylight savings time.
Right, because where I live, we don't do it. Which is more awkward than it should be. It's sort of, we should all do it or we should all not do it.
I agree.
What's that?
Daylight savings time. I live in one of the states that doesn't have daylight savings time, so I have to cope with the fact that everybody's time zone changes around me, but mine. So in the summer I'm in California time, in this winter I'm in Colorado time.
9 o'clock is fine for me.
Yeah.
By 10 o'clock I usually need to be in bed because I got to get up early in the morning to teach.
That makes sense.
Tuesday, November 24th. This is empty sign. A Super 2-day sale.
But I can go with the majority. It doesn't matter.
Right. It's
cotton sweaters are 2 for $49. Plus save up to 70%.
That's probably going to work out for you though, since daylight savings time is when the change is. That means that in the late spring and early fall, it'll be a little awkward for you to join, but a little earlier for most of the school year.
I'm a big boy. I can handle going to bed late.
Yeah. Yeah, I probably got to post. People want to do this on a different day of the week. We went with Monday 2 years ago because it made sense to everybody that was joining, but we haven't repolled in a while. I maybe should check and see what days are better for people now.
Every Christmas is memorable.
I like Mondays.
Makes it unforgettable because it's more than a gift. It's a memory to wear forever. And right now you can save up to 30% on diamond fashion, like the incredible diamonds in the Net Cave, the #1 memory maker.
Hey, John.
Hello, Trouble. How are you?
Not bad. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Sorry for the late arrival.
Neutrogena Hydro Boost Water Gel with hyaluronic acid.
All right. So before we went live, Justine was showing us the hand that Dean sent you guys.
Yeah, it's really cool. The only thing I found, John, is it's so soft that if you bend it, the gauntlet at all, the pins pop off on the end.
Yeah, it did a very prototype.
It's fabulous.
Use of the material, but the TPU I think has got an enormous potential.
Yeah, I can't wait to try some.
All I need now is a supplier who will economically supply 3mm TPU. The 1.75 you can get a really good deal on. If you're prepared to pay 4 times the price, then you can buy 3mm.
What are the advantages of a 3mm hot end over a 1.75?
Approximately none whatsoever.
Yeah, they're all, because the tip is the same size.
Yeah, the world is going 1.75, which I didn't know when I bought mine 18 months ago. So I now have a rack full of 3mm filament. But the only way of economically handling it is to buy a second printer and wean myself off the 3mm.
Right.
Otherwise, I have to jettison my stock of filament. I'm sure I'm not the only one.
And we have a lot of filaments.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm not the only one in that situation.
I would imagine not.
We have a wall of filament.
I'm starting to get a good collection, but I've got a ways to go.
It always worries me that as soon as it comes out of its polythene bag, then the clock is ticking.
Right? Because of moisture, or
Moisture.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who use the not too hot but warm oven to dry the filament out before it prints. But
Yeah.
I
Have
would
you ever tried
really,
that?
I have not. I would worry about my oven because it has a tendency to have hot spots and cooler spots.
Discussion about power adder.
Aaron Brown uses a food dehydrator.
Probably a better idea.
But he did tell me that, because I've been having some problems with some of the filament that I got, it has something going on, and I thought it might be humidity. That putting it in the oven was a better idea and a quicker solution.
Yeah, and I think it depends on your oven. We have to be careful in ours when we're baking cookies that we don't bake too large a batch at a time because the center cooks a lot faster than the outside edges do. And I would worry about using it to dry out filament because I don't know, I might melt the center.
That's possibly where a convection oven, if you've got that luxury, would help.
Yeah. I fortunately live in a fairly dry state. So I don't know what to make about it.
That's another solution, of course. Move.
Yeah. I've been thinking about buying some of the silicone drying agent from Amazon and just keeping my filament in boxes when I don't have it on the shelf. Put a bunch of that on the bottom of the box and then seal it so it would dry out pretty well and stay dry.
Yep.
What about vacuum sealing it between uses?
That's an idea.
You know, like a food sealer system, but vacuum seal the filament if you're not using it.
That's not a bad idea.
Think it would work?
Probably.
There are a lot of
I'm
agents
sorry, go ahead.
to keep the filament dry.
Say it again, Jack?
Yeah, there are a lot of dehydration agents that you can use to keep your filament dry, such as
Your car here. Exactly. And that's unfortunate for a guy like Jason. It really sucks that I don't have my car put back together. I wonder if
Hey, Richard, I'm going to mute you for a little bit. Oh, thanks. You did it. As always, feel free to unmute yourself when you want to talk. You just didn't want the TV.
Background noise.
Yeah. Let's see. So I didn't really have anything planned for tonight. Did anybody have anything else they wanted to show? Do you want to show the hand that Dean sent to you again, Justine?
Yeah, sure. Hang on. Let me grab it.
Now that we're actually live and recording.
Here, Sean, you want to do it? Because you've got better lighting down there.
Oh, okay. Let me go grab it.
I'll bring it down. I can walk. It matches the cat. It's black and white. It matches the cat. One of the cats.
Justine is reveling in the luxury of having a Bluetooth headset that she bought on Saturday, and she can actually walk away from the computer now. There we go. So that is Dean's hand with the flexi fingers. It's got that mesh that he experimented with as well, all in TPU. The fingers are in TPU as well. They're the multi-segment fingers, but they're all printed as a single item. So the whole finger is one unit. And who says that you have to have the same number of bones in one of the a prosthesis finger than you do in a human finger.
Yeah, I like the idea of 4 or 5 joints.
Exactly, whatever it takes. So they
Especially when
curl
it's cramped
around.
in place, there's no reason. Well, longer bones mean more leverage, so
Right.
fewer segments mean more strength in the long run, but or more leverage transferred. But I think that you have a better adaptive grip with more joints.
Right. What will also be interesting, the material itself is fairly slippery, which is not really surprising.
Right.
I've just got myself a can of a clear Plastidip, which I'm going to be experimenting with. I've never used it before. Can't get the primer locally, so I've just ordered a can online. So hopefully I'll be able to actually make it stick to things as well. And I'll see how well that works.
With those fingers, you might be able to do like wide fat rubber bands threaded through the center of the finger around the tip. Tie a knot and trim the remainder.
Yep, that's another possibility. That, I'm sure that there are a number of ways of dealing with this one, but I think there's a lot of more research and experimentation to be done. There's a whole new set of opportunities opening up with this material. But the idea of having flexibility in the gauntlet is a really interesting idea. I think the chance of it being more comfortable, forgiving, is there as well.
Yeah, Jack says Plastidip would work, but probably is not the best permanent solution.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the problem that Peregrine talks about. He doesn't like the Plastidip on his fingertips because it, even with the primer, it tends to peel off after a few days of heavy work with it.
Right.
But he always buys the
Lee Tippy?
Yeah, the Lee Tippy fingertips, and those work pretty well. I don't know how those would work with the flexible fingers, though.
No, that could be a challenge, though I wouldn't rule it out.
Right.
The Lee Tip is what I've used up till now. I've always thought that the fingers themselves, the fingertips, with a subtle change in the design, they could be designed to hold the Lee Tip is better. So
right.
It's designed to clip them on as opposed to just staying there by friction.
Right.
So
they've got the gaps and the holes in the back of the Tippy. You could put a diamond shape or whatever on the back of it to clip it around.
Exactly, because that is one, and it wouldn't take much ingenuity just to put a little bump on the back and a little bump on the front that these parts of the tip actually clip on. I mean, these don't last forever. We've got all of our demo hands, got a whole fleet of demo hands with the Lee Tippies on, and frankly, they are degrading.
Right.
They don't look new. They're still usable, but they look as if they're on the way out. So they're probably something that you're going to need to change every month or two. But
yeah,
hey, it's just running.
I think they can be washed, and you can get them looking a lot cleaner.
Oh right, okay, I have to try that.
But I don't know how long it takes for them to actually wear out.
No.
I don't know how long Peregrine has used the same set of Tippies in a row, or how many days, or how I don't know what his. I'd like to ask him at some point.
If anybody knows
what lifespan he's used.
Yeah.
The main reason he prefers it over the
Plastidip.
Yeah, the Plastidip is that the Plastidip peels off, and you have to throw it away. But the Lee Tippies, they peel off too, but you just put them back on. They're reusable. And yeah, you're right. If we put some grooves in the right places on the back of the fingers, we could hold them in place pretty easily. My biggest worry about the Lee Tippies is that they're not available everywhere.
No, internationally that's a problem.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a business opportunity for people. Become a Lee Tippy dealer. Talking about international,
Okay.
I've been in touch with Jason Bryant.
Right.
John Schul has asked me to try and work with Jason to shepherd the Phoenix through to the next phase of widespread availability. Part of that is going to be to remove the experimental mark on the side of the palm, which Jason has undertaken to work on. I've made a couple of other suggestions, one of which was to consider the modified Whippletree and thumb pin in the gripper box that I came up with that avoided the need for an extra bit of thread and another knot inside the gripper box. I've sent that to him. I've also suggested that a thermoform gauntlet be the standard. Jason is not convinced that the thermoform gauntlet should be the standard.
Right.
I've suggested that if he's not happy with that, fair enough, but it would be good if we could include both. Have a thermoform and the non-thermoform design in the kit of files, so that people have a choice of which way to go. And to basically get it to the point where it can just be put up probably on Thingiverse, and we take it to the next step. But now is the time. It's undergone some field trials, and it's time for more widespread use. And that's about it from me at the moment.
Okay. Good to hear. Good to hear indirectly from Jason. He's always been fun when he's on the Hangouts, but being in China makes it a little rough timescale-wise, I'm guessing.
Timescale or time frame, the time zone-wise, it makes things tricky. He's had various other issues, including they clamped down on the Great Firewall of China with VPNs going through it a while back, although there may have been some slight relaxations. That's complicated life.
Right.
And there have also been some other issues which have derailed what's going on, but we're hoping to put the wheels back on the cart and get things moving again.
Right.
They also have a situation between China and Google.
Yeah, that's not been a good situation for several years, so that could be adding to the problem.
Yeah, the sponsors of my 3D printer in China, every time I try to tell them to go into a Google Hangout or anything like that, they're like, we can't really do that.
Nope.
They have a way of doing it, but apparently that's not what do you call it, copacetic?
No. Yes, there are a lot more rules that one's expected to conform to than we are used to over here.
It's really too bad, too, because they're really nice people.
Oh, yes. I've been out there. I had a really good time. I was in Beijing a few years ago.
Yeah, I'm supposed to go out there in the spring. I know John probably knows and Justine knows, but they've invited me to come out to CES in Vegas in January for the whole week.
Nice.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Never been there. So it's going to be a riot.
Yeah, that's an event I would love to attend.
I'd love to have you attend, so then I can have help because they want to have an e-NABLE table at their exhibit. Hint, hint.
Vegas isn't too far away. I have to convince my bosses to give me the time off. It'd be nice if I could convince my bosses that I was working while I was there.
You can do that easy. They're going to give out free passes to anybody from e-NABLE that's going to come out and go to their exhibit. So, and they may have some other goodies in hand too.
Looks like most of the people who were responded watching are in the chat, but not many. Not many. I don't know. I'm wondering if we didn't get a lot of people connecting because the Hangout invite didn't go out the way it normally does when I tried to schedule it using the YouTube instead of a Hangout tool.
I think that's probably it.
It'd probably be worth canvassing a few people afterwards just to see whether or not that was an influencer.
Yeah, I'll post questions on both the announcements. We usually have 9 to 10. Sometimes we have 12 because people will come in and then leave and somebody else will come in instead. We frequently have a full 10 people on the bottom responding to a question in the sidebar chat from Jack.
I was just a little late because I got distracted cabling up a cyborg beast.
Nice.
The first one I've ever put together. I've actually got my first recipient has requested it.
Hey, I got asked by somebody nearby that is doing e-NABLE things in the Phoenix area who wanted a demo hand to show. I don't have any demo hands, and my printer is currently down because I'm replacing the extruder on it. Do you think you could send me one?
If it could wait for 2 weeks, that would be better for us because we've got Autodesk University next week.
Yeah, all our demo hands are coming with me to Autodesk University.
Yeah, Justine will be in Las Vegas.
Yeah, I'll be there. We've got 2 pretty cool activities planned while we're there. We're going to be we're their service partner. They always do a service opportunity for the people who go to take classes so that they can drop in and take some time doing a service project. And this year the service project is assembling hands. So we're bringing 150 kits with us, and we have 6 hours each day, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, when we'll be working with people to assemble hands. And then on Wednesday we're doing a hackathon where we're presenting some design challenges and letting people go at them. And the design challenges are 2 around anatomy, so 1 around making a hand that works for somebody who has a thumb, because our thumbless hands don't really work very well, and even the thumbless cyborg beast, which works pretty well, Melina says that Ethan has the most success with that. It's still, the thumb is completely in the wrong place to where the rest of the fingers are.
Right.
So I've asked about that one. The other one is to try and rearrange the palm so that we can do different variations for different people who have different fingers where there's more than 1 finger. And then if you remember, Justin Lavaguer came to one of the town halls and he did an adapter that snaps onto the hand. It has an octagonal socket in the end, and then you can devise a device to fit in the socket that can hold another item, like a
Right.
broom or who knows what. So we're asking people to design for that.
Right, design.
Design
Device that
something
can
for
fit
that.
that socket.
A
However,
device that'll fit in the socket.
However, next week I can produce a hand for you. Maybe even ship it out before the end of next week. Would that timing be okay?
I'm not certain. I just went and looked at the chat that I was having with her, and it looks like she was hoping to get one before December 1st. So I might be. She might be out of luck.
We can't do it.
Yeah, that was kind of.
2 days too tight.
Yeah, and I was going to try to get my printer functional again this last weekend, but ended up dealing with family things. And this next weekend I'm dealing with Thanksgiving family things. So I'm not sure. I may have to.
Message me when you get a little more confirmation on that one, because I'm working on just finishing up one Phoenix at the moment, which hopefully, if all goes well and I don't have a disaster, will be done by the end of tomorrow. I could probably start up on a new one immediately after that. I don't think I've got anything scheduled. What style of hand would you be interested in? Would a Phoenix be appropriate?
Let me look at what she was saying in the chat. Let's see. Yeah, Phoenix would be appropriate.
Would you want it adult size or teenager size? I normally do 160% for the typical adult. I've only had 2 or 3 people who are too big for it, and
right.
about 140, 145 for a typical teenager.
I'm not certain that it would matter. I don't think they're wanting to give it to someone. They just need a demo to show to. She says that they are raising money to print 100 hands. The fundraiser will be an outing to the Arizona Coyotes hockey game, and they'd like to have demo hands that they can show people when they're doing the fundraiser.
Sounds to me as if a big one, so an adult can put it on.
Right. Or at least something that somebody can play with.
Yeah, as soon as an adult puts one of these hands on and actually bends their wrist for the first time, the light bulb goes off.
Right. So probably one with a grip bar in the middle.
Yep. It would have a demo grip. It wouldn't have the Velcro glove. It would have the it'd have a padded gauntlet. What I typically do for demo hands is thermoform gauntlet, but instead of the 2 thin straps that Drew Murray recommends for comfort, I've got a modified version with a single 2-inch strap, but the strap is biased towards the back of the gauntlet. So it's not a great long slot where the strap can slide around in. It's a 2-inch wide slot,
okay.
And it's biased towards the back. I've tweaked it up for demo purposes because it's a lot easier and quicker when you're just going to put a hand on for 30 seconds to strap it on with one big strap. And the long-term comfort is irrelevant at that point. But I can put it together for you.
Yeah.
And this is Caroline, right? Because I've been in contact. I have a couple of messages from her too, and I've been.
Catherine.
I've been a little back and forth, but I think I owe her a message. So yeah, tell her we can see what we can do, and we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, maybe if Justine is in contact with her, we'll just ship it out direct.
Okay. I will add Justine to my current chat window, my current Hangout window with Catherine, and and then that way I can extend the conversation to include you.
Great. We'll have to find out what colors.
Yeah, we should find out what colors the team is.
Let's see, what did she say? Coyotes. Let's see.
What sport is that?
I think hockey. It's red and black and white.
We can do that.
Red, black, and white.
Yeah,
Yep.
with mostly red and white with black border around the coyote face.
Okay.
Um,
Maybe I could even do a coyote face on a badge in triple color printing on the back of the back
Yeah, I
of
was going to say,
Mm.
like your Superman
Yeah.
hand.
Yeah.
Here, let me show you the image. Right, screen sharing.
Ooh.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, it's the Arizona Coyotes hockey team.
Right. So it's almost a sort of a pinky red, or
Yeah, it's
what is it
I need
really
the red, John.
Yeah, it looks like a brick red.
Right. Okay. Okay. I'll see what can be done.
Okay, cool.
Maybe that's my thanks
Um,
project.
I appreciate it. Let's see. You want me to add John to that chat as well, or just
No,
Justine?
just keep it with me, and I'll run interference on that.
And I spelled her name wrong. Oh well. I know a lot of Catherines, so I know a lot of ways to spell it. And so I always use the wrong one for whoever I'm talking to or about. So I don't mind if this is a short one. My mom's starting to pester me if she wants to come pick me up and take me home again. So I might be willing to end this call if nobody has anything they want to bring up.
That works for me.
Did you have something you wanted to show tonight, Jack, or was this just the first chance to join and meet everybody?
You're muted if you're saying anything, Jack.
Yeah, I think he knows he's muted. He's been typing in the sidebar, so it might be
Okay.
a few seconds for him for the response to pop up. And
There are normally several more folks online. In fact, we have a full icon bar, and people are dropping off to make room for others.
yeah, I think I'm going to use the Hangout page to create the chat in the future. I don't think I'm going to try to do it through the YouTube page. I think part of the problem is I hadn't selected a encoder because that's never been something that I've needed to do. There were some extra questions that it was asking when I was setting it up, and I don't know what needs to be installed on my laptop to host it when I start it from the uploads page on YouTube's website. So I'll do it the other way. Also, the other way automatically creates an events posting that I can post right to the group, and or I can share with the group, and that seems to get people thinking about it a little bit better a little earlier.
Is the other way still supported?
Sort of. I'm doing it through the hangouts.google.com website rather than YouTube. And if you go to the hangouts.google.com, here, let me show. Let me pull up a new tab to share. I'll choose that one.
You need this recorded?
No, I mean, I don't need it to be, but it's probably not a bad idea to walk through how I established the connection, so that we can document it.
I was referring to the chat.
Oh, no. There's no links no links have been posted, and almost everything that was talked about in the sidebar chat got spoken about in video.
Okay.
So when you're on the Hangouts website, there's this menu button in the upper left-hand corner, and then you scroll down to where it says Hangouts-On-Air, which opens in a new window with a button that says Create a Hangouts-On-Air. And then it's the usual routine that you're used to if you've done this in the past with Google+, where it asks you who your audience is, give it a name and a summary of what it's about and when it starts. And you just pick a time, and then when you're done creating the page, you go and share it with the community so that everybody that's reading the community also sees it, not just the notification. Some people don't allow notifications from anyone else for obvious reasons. A lot of people have a lot of notifications and can't keep up on it if they receive them. So not very difficult. Were you able to follow all that okay, John?
Yep.
And so I think we can go off air. This was the 2015 November 23rd Hangout-On-Air for the e-NABLE R&D group, and it was kind of a short, sweet meeting without a whole lot going on, which kind of nice for a change, actually. Go home early and get some dinner in. All right, well, thanks.
Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Good night and happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
It's going to be a fun Thanksgiving. We have a new brother-in-law in my family who is a professional chef, so this should be an interesting family gathering up in Utah this year.
Very welcome addition to the family.
Yeah. And we have a new nephew and a new niece on the way. So,
You can message that address.
yeah, I'll send you. Oh, the house address. I don't know it. I'm getting driven by other people, so.
I'm thinking like John right now. You know, that's a pretty nice addition to the family there, buddy.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. He's almost as much of a geek as I am. He's got Star Wars tattoos and things like that. So he's actually a lot of fun to hang out with, and I think my sister did a pretty good job selecting him.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop the broadcast.